Emma Carter had always believed that nursing was more than a job, it was a calling. For 12 years, she had devoted her life to caring for the sick, holding hands of the dying, and offering hope to families in their darkest moments. But none of that mattered now. She stood frozen in the hospital administrator's office, staring at the termination letter in her trembling hands. "We're truly sorry, Emma," the HR representative said, her voice mechanical, devoid of genuine sympathy. "Budget cuts. We had to make some difficult decisions." Difficult decisions. That was their excuse for tearing her life apart in a matter of seconds. They didn't see her late nights, the hours she spent beyond her shift comforting scared patients. They didn't care that her mother depended on her for medication and rent. As she walked out of the hospital, a numbness settled over her. She had no backup plan, no savings, no idea what to do next. Emma wandered the city aimlessly, lost in thought. It wasn't just the loss of income that hurt, it was the feeling of being discarded, as if the years she had poured into her work meant nothing. The cold November wind cut through her thin coat, but she barely noticed. She walked for hours, her thoughts a blur of panic and sorrow, until something yanked her back to reality. A desperate, gasping sound. She turned toward a dimly lit alley and saw a man collapse onto the sidewalk. Instinct took over. Without hesitation, Emma ran to him, dropping to her knees. His skin was pale, his breathing shallow, symptoms she recognized immediately. A heart attack. "Sir. Can you hear me?" she asked urgently, checking his pulse. Weak and irregular. She had seconds to act. Her fingers fumbled for her phone as she dialed 911. Then, pushing fear aside, she began chest compressions. "Come on," she whispered. "Stay with me." Her arms burned, but she didn't stop. The distant wail of sirens grew louder, yet it felt like an eternity. Finally, just as the paramedics arrived, the man let out a weak gasp. Relief flooded through her. He was alive. The EMTs took over, their faces filled with astonishment. "If you hadn't been here," one of them muttered, shaking his head. Emma stepped back, watching as they lifted the man onto a stretcher. She never got his name, but as the ambulance doors shut, she knew one thing: no matter how lost she felt, saving lives was still who she was. The next morning, reality hit harder. She had no job, overdue bills, and a sick mother who depended on her. She sat at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of final notices, when a knock at the door startled her. She opened it, and froze. For luxury cars lined her driveway, gleaming under the morning sun. Standing in front of them was a tall man in a tailored suit. His face was familiar, though she couldn't place it at first. Then, recognition dawned. The man she had saved. "Miss Carter," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "My name is Daniel Whitmore. Yesterday, you saved my life." Emma felt a lump in her throat. He looked so different, strong, composed, nothing like the helpless figure from the alley. "I didn't do anything special," she said, shaking her head. "I was just there." "You were there when no one else was," he said, stepping closer. "And that means everything to me. Please, let me repay you." She blinked in confusion as he gestured toward the cars. "I own Whitmore Medical Enterprises," he explained. "These cars are just a small part of what I want to offer you. I heard what happened at the hospital. If they won't see your worth, I will. I want you to run a new clinic I'm opening, your clinic. Fully funded, fully staffed, with you in charge." Emma's breath hitched. It was too much. Too surreal. I don't know what to say." "Say yes," he urged, his eyes kind. "Say yes to doing what you love. Say yes to never worrying about bills again. Say yes to changing lives, just like you changed mine." Tears welled in her eyes. Just yesterday, she had lost everything. Now, standing in front of her was a second chance, a chance to heal, to help, to do what she was born to do. She looked up at Daniel Whitmore, a man who had once been a stranger, and smiled through her tears. Yes. And just like that, her life began again.